Selector Andre.
Is who they talking about? Me? I really don't care. I don't give a damn what people talk about me. I live in my life, living my life. You should shut your mouth and mind your own damn business. I live in my life, living my life. I drive in they talk me name. With me friends they talk me name. I allow me, let me live my life, my life. I turn me on keys, I pay me on bills. So if you want to sit down and talk about me, I don't give a damn what people say about me. I live in my life, living my life. You should shut your mouth and mind your own damn business. I live in my life, living my life. Oh, they hate you when they see you making progress. They wish you to fall, they want you to fall. How they gang up all day and they calling your name. You don't care at all, you're half in a ball. Don't make them stress you out, keep the name out your mouth. Once you eating by you and you wash out play. You don't give a damn what people say about you. You live in your life, live your life. Tell them much about and mind their own damn business. You live in your life, living your life. Tell them, if my blessings is your problem, deal with it. If my progress is your problem, deal with it. If the way I live is your problem, deal with it. That is your problems and I can solve them. I don't give a damn what you want to say about me. I live in my life, living my life. Just hush up and mind your own damn business. I live in my life, living my life. Tell them, left me know, left me know, left me know, live my life, left me know, live my life. I don't give a damn. I don't care.
Welcome to Guyana, land of many waters, a place of blended cultures. You have to see it for yourself. Pristine rainforest, untouched, what I can't contest. Guyana is the best. Let me hear you sing with me. Oh, Guyana, we are powerful because we are like jaguars that do not fear. So raise the golden arrowhead. Oh, Guyana, we are one people, one nation, one destiny. What a sight to see. You have to see it for yourself and raise the golden arrowhead. Now you're in Guyana. Try curry or cook up rice. Take a taste of the pepper pot. With the Eldorado rum. There's Architure Falls, largest one-drop waterfalls. It is a world wonder. Everybody sing with me. Oh, Guyana, we are powerful because we are leaders who came here prepared. So raise the golden arrowhead. Oh, Guyana, we are one people, one nation, one destiny. What a sight to see. You have to see it for yourself and raise the golden arrowhead. Listen to me now. Abna, lady sneeze. If you know, then you're a Guyanese. Everything you do and say, set the trend, so sing with me. Oh, Guyana, we are powerful because we are leaders who came here prepared. So raise the golden arrowhead. Oh, Guyana, we are one people, one nation, one destiny. What a sight to see. You have to see it for yourself and raise the golden arrowhead. Raise the golden arrowhead. Welcome to Guyana, land of many waters, a place of blended cultures. You have to see it for yourself. Pristine rainforest, untouched, what I can't contest. Guyana is the best. Let me hear you sing with me. Oh, Guyana, we are powerful because we are leaders who came here prepared. the golden arrowhead. Oh, Guyana, we are one people, one nation, one destiny. What a sight to see. You have to see it for yourself. And raise the golden arrowhead. Raise the golden arrowhead. Oh, Guyana, we love you bad. And raise the golden arrowhead. Oh, Guyana, we love you bad.
Caution them,
AJ.
make it an anthem. Land of Guyana, of rivers and plains. I'm a real Guyanese. From the time when I step on the scene to the moment me leave. I'm a real Guyanese. From the red to the black to the gold to the white to the green. I'm a real Guyanese. And nothing can change me. So nothing can change me. I'm a real Guyanese. I live living in a foreign country. So nothing can change me. 6 races, beautiful faces. Put your hand them in the air if you're not racist. I pledge myself to honor always. I will never disgrace this. Then want peace how we map. Wait your mothers, we not give you that. No, not one caress. Not a blade of grass. Listen up, 83,000 square miles. Oh my God, we find aisle. Me not tell you no lie. Guyana nice, but me swear for my life. Land of many waters, bring out all the leaders in the son them and the daughters. If you want to, we fall. No, not at all. I'm a real Guyanese. From the time when I step on the scene to the moment me leave. I'm a real Guyanese. From the red to the black to the gold to the white to the green. I'm a real Guyanese. And nothing can change me. So nothing can change me. I'm a real Guyanese. I live living in a foreign country. So nothing can change me. We got stop broke. Allow it tough crook. It now is pretty so nobody try act show. God big up GRM, me know I'm a tax look. And when me have the money, me can go for my bank book. Beautiful Guyana, we there in South America. Land of kite, the flora and the fauna. Independent people, so we do what we wanna. Never violate because you could become a Ghana. Them love we country, all the foreigners, them children salute you. In the Indian temp, long we border, we no want no problem. Never fall, we forever standing. Me love how God make you, would never forsake you. Unique in every way, could I never mistake you. If Guyana was a girl, we surely would date you. That's why them want take you. I'm a real Guyanese. From the time when I step on the scene to the moment me leave. I'm a real Guyanese. From the red to the black to the gold to the white to the green. I'm a real Guyanese. And nothing can change me. So nothing can change me. I'm a real Guyanese. I live living in a foreign country. So nothing can change me.
Look down from your window, no big city lights, just greenery. I don't know what you come for. Listen up, my dear, we're such a man free. Welcome to the land of many faces. Not one, not two, but 6 different races. You'll know when the sun kisses your skin, you're in the right place. G-U-I-A-N-A. Oh, that's my beautiful country. G-U-I-A-N-A. One people, one nation, one destiny. Don't stop for a minute. Come, let me take a walk with Brother Tiki. You'll see our landmarks and our monuments. They're so unique. The high brick structure in a lighthouse, the tallest wooden structure, cathedral, 176th Street, monuments, and the beautiful city hall. You know with the wind in your hair, you're in the right place. G-U-I-A-N-A. Oh, that's my beautiful country. G-U-I-A-N-A. One people, one nation, one destiny.
This is Quincy Anderson. You know I love my country. There's no other country better than mine. Welcome to Guyana, land of 6 races, 6 different faces, and we all live in love. Guyana is a beautiful country, no other can compare. Got everything right here, so no other can compare. Guyana is made up of so many natural resources. We don't need no forces, cause we got enough resources. Let's talk about bauxite, gold, diamond, and rice. We got it right here. Guyana ain't going nowhere. We got no.
أصبحنا وأصبح الملك لله والحمد لله لا إله إلا الله وحده لا شريك له له الملك وله الحمد وهو على كل شيء قدير ربي أسألك خير ما في هذا اليوم وخير ما بعده وأعوذ بك من شر ما في هذا اليوم وشر ما بعده رب أعوذ بك من الكسل وسوء الكبر رب أعوذ بك من عذاب في النار وعذاب في القبر.
Heavenly Father, as I rise to greet a new day, I humbly come before you with a grateful heart. Thank you for the gift of life and the opportunity to experience this day. I surrender my plans and desires to your divine will. Guide me in every step I take, that I may walk in alignment with your purpose for my life. Grant me wisdom, strength, and clarity as I navigate the challenges and blessings that lie ahead. Fill me with your love, grace, and compassion, that I may be a source of light and encouragement to those I encounter. May this day be filled with your presence, and may I reflect your goodness in all that I do. In your holy name I pray. Amen.
Pre-exposure prophylaxis PrEP is not new to Guyana. There has been a low intake of this medication for the prevention of HIV. According to statistics provided by the National AIDS Program Secretariat (NAPS), only 86 persons are accessing PrEP. PrEP can reduce your chance of getting HIV. When taken as prescribed, PrEP is highly effective for preventing HIV. Program Manager of NAPS, Dr. Tariq Jagnaran, said a new service has been launched to increase the intake of this medication. It is called the PrEP for Sex package.
This is a simple package that you collect that, one, it supplies you with educational material, condoms, lubricants, as you can see here, Most importantly, it gives you an opportunity to access an HIV self-testing. And we're putting two of these kits inside so you can test not only yourself, but your partner.
Persons can access the Prep for Sex package at any of the Health Ministry's care and treatment sites across Guyana.
Ideally, at any one of our care and treatment sites that are listed here, you can actually go to them, you can ask and say, okay, I would like to have access to one of these packages, and you can uplift it. And the packages prepares you for almost 3 months, because large quantity of condoms, large quantity of lubricants, we don't know what's your sexual preference, so we try to create an environment for everything that is suited to you that you would use.
Morning. Good morning to all our viewers and our listeners. A good bit of information there coming out of NAPS. It's always good to be prepared and, know your status as well. The prep packages, you guys can pick that up at any of the NAP centers around the region. Morning again to all our viewers tuning in. It's the 3rd of July and it's our first program for the month of July. And it's really great to be here with you. Morning to Sally Jones, Becky Etoire, Robert Ramp. I see some of our regular viewers here this morning. Mukesh Vishnudat, Lance Henry. Thank you guys for joining the program as per normal, where we keep you informed about what's happening in and around Guyana as it relates to development and what the government is doing as well. So welcome to the program, to the persons who are joining us. As you guys come on Facebook or YouTube, whichever platform you're joining us on, we'll ask you to share the live so that persons can tune in to hear some of the information that is being shared here. I see somebody saying that they're not getting audio. Just confirm if you guys are hearing me clearly, and we will proceed with this morning show. So this morning we're supposed to be having Miss Nicola Luther out of New Amsterdam. She would be one of the PPPC councillor elect who will be heading to the New Amsterdam council up there to help to effect change in that area. As persons would know, the New Amsterdam area was controlled by the PNC for about 53 years, and the PPP would have made significant inroads at these recently concluded local government elections. So I wanted to share some information with you guys in relation to what's happening in and around the country. I see the Ministry of Education, they have designated Thursday, July 6th and Friday, July 7th, 2023 as National Report Card Days. Parents or guardians must visit their children's school to uplift the report cards during the normal working hours of school. I think that's 8 to 3. Parents and guardians may authorize someone in writing to visit on their behalf. Okay, so the 6th and the 7th of July is National Report Card Days, and parents across the country, you guys are invited by the ministry to go and check up on your child, man. Pay some attention to the child, see what's going on there. And sad to say, it's often only around these times some parents tend to have an interaction with the teacher in relation to what's going on with the child. And what we need to understand that it's an effort on both parts. The teacher plays a role, but then the parents also play a significant role in grooming that child and having them operate in a manner that is conducive to learning in the classroom. So parents, please ensure you play that role in your child's life to help them become somebody who is beneficial to society. The Ministry of Public Service, they are launching their undergraduate scholarships program for 2023. I think this falls on the gold. I think. I'm not going to give my mouth liberty. Anyway, the deadline is August 20th for applications, and there are several programs for persons to choose from. Um, the undergrad scholarship program for 2023. So make sure you guys take advantage of that and make sure that you upskill yourself. That's very important in this day and age, especially with the trajectory Guyana is on in terms of development, oil and gas, and all those other things that have been happening. Now, as some persons might remember, there was a bit of talk from the opposition, basically saying that the People's Progressive Party, their members, their supporters, and their candidates for the LGE elections would abandon some of these communities where they would have made some significant inroads in. One of these areas in particular is the community of Sophia. Now, during the LGE, several candidates in that area, I think Ms. Asha Wallace, Imam Asif, Andre Jackman, Gir Kisoon, and Mr. Dion Young, were able to get several ministers to come into these communities to effect some works in these areas. Now, when I say effect some works, the community is managed by it falls under the city council. Now, internal roads, drainage, parapets, garbage collection, all of that falls under the city council. And even some of the footpath bridges that would link A to B, B to C, C to D, all of that falls under the purview of the mayor and city council. However, for some reason, despite the fact that they're collecting rates and taxes, despite the fact that they're collecting fees from vendors who are legal, and they're also collecting fees from vendors who are vending illegally in the city, they often never have enough money to pay the staff, to pay bills at City Hall, whatever it is. There's often an issue of not having enough funds. Now, these, let's take, for instance, we look at the Blacker Bridge. We look at the health center in North Sophia. We look at the footpath, the footbridges that link A field to B field. All of those were in deplorable conditions. And I don't think there was even a community center or recreational center there in North Sophia. So it was these candidates under the PPPC who reached out to these ministers of government and through their ministries got them to come into these communities. And so there's a new Blacker Bridge there now. The community center in North Sophia has been completed. So there's a safe space for the youth in that area, for the elderly in that area, for the single parents in that area, to go and spend some time in a safe space in their community. Now, as I was saying earlier, there was this narrative being peddled by the opposition that the government will have nothing to do with these candidates when the local government elections are finished. The government will abandon these communities when the local government elections are finished. But we see right in Sophia, Minister Edgel, along with, I see Mr. Andre Jackman and Ms. Wallace doing some walkthroughs there. Let me just put this up on the screen for you guys so you can see. I don't have Kevon with me. It's just me working this morning. So just give me a second. Right. So as I was saying, they were trying to push the narrative of the government will not be back in these communities. And this is from a DPI's post. I'm hoping you guys can see clearly. So Minister Edgel has, along with these candidates, are still in these communities working. So they were in B and C field Sophia, and government has committed to 30 community roads being rehabilitated in that community of Sophia. So this disclosure was made on Saturday last when the minister was in the community with Mr. Jackman, who was a candidate. I think he was the candidate for Plum Park. And I also see, you would also see here, Miss Wallace. She was also a candidate for the Sophia area here, doing this walkabout with Minister Edgel here in the community. And in this photo here, as we can see, they are actually on one of the roads that that is being rehabilitated currently. I think it's being upgraded into a concrete road, and that will bring extreme relief to persons in Sophia. I know for sure this lady here in the red dress, her street, you literally can't drive through it because of the potholes there. So I am so happy to see that the minister and the ministry, they are still working in these communities to ensure persons benefit from development, despite how those persons may have voted at the local government elections and at the regional and general elections. We see that the PPPC is a government that is interested in development for all Guyanese. So I am happy that this was something that the ministry, these candidates can collaborate to continue to execute projects in these communities, right? I want to take you guys over to Mocha now, where, as you know, I think the PVP won a seat, 1 or 2 seats in Mocha, and that has never happened before. But let me just give you guys a glimpse of what's happening in Mocha now, and some of the work the PNC-led NDC is doing in that area. And you guys can actually hear how some of the citizens feel about it. Just to give you a warning, the video has a bit of profanity in it. So if you got any kids around, you can move them away quickly for this segment. But this is what the NDC is doing or calling road works or road rehabilitation works in the Mocha Arcade area. Have a look.
Because this now, this is the state of the road is right now. Watch this. This is the state of the road right now, right? All right, you see enough potholes. You see enough potholes, right? All right. You see the potholes here? See the potholes? Where do you wait for you? I'm supposed to bring for full on the soul. Eh? You didn't need a car, people that take my record. Adam's never from Big Fancy Road. Rima never from Big Fancy Road. When you wait for you, I'm supposed to bring for full of the soul that means. That's very mess like the last time I make a big mess to swap down later. Eh? You're going to roll yourself. Because if you don't know what can I ask you the question. Eh? Alright, yeah. Let 2, 3 days rainfall and see what happens. So more them all, the same thing when I happen down my bar and not even see. No, because can't even try to kind of dig it up so much of time. It's very nonsense to do it. Yeah. They're doing this because somebody don't want the government come and do nothing. Like if they're scared to do anything. I say about some black people mindset, eh? They're shit.
I always think I'm but they just let me walk upon them. But what, you see man there? They just come down, yeah? The way it's gone.
Who?
Reborn.
It's nonsense of doing what? You see very far next to Cde Barry.
Yes, yes,
It's not and it gone down more deep. And it's more deep gone. This big man is telling me that what they're doing there is we do already. This is bare nonsense. The end of the day attacking chauvinist.
And this is getting a bigger whole album.
Don't let the government come in, nothing, do nothing more. Come, the government want to take care of land, but the one buck people continue to punish and suffer more. That's what they want. They better have their sense here. Adams live upon Newbrown Road. You better stand guard for the PPP. Nemo Road is Newbrown Touch. You better stand guard for the PPP. You understand? Because the APM went today, they didn't do the friggin' same. Shut up! You shut up!
Oh my goodness.
You didn't care your backside, so you continue being a slave. Talking shit.
And you could hear the frustration in the voice of that resident. If you listen to what she said, it's very factual. Miss Flubess is on a brand new road courtesy of the government, the PVPC government. Burnham Boulevard in that community. The boulevard in Mocha was named after the founding leader of that party. And the People's Progressive Party had to come and do that road. All the infrastructure work that you see in there, it was not done by the NDC. The Ministry of Agriculture was in there doing drainage work, so the persons who were doing farming in that area. There was, as I said, Burnham Boulevard was done in that area. The Mocha Primary School has a new basketball court for the youths in that area. The same school, the field was redone for the students of that school, and the persons in that area could have a space, a safe space to engage in recreational activities. So imagine now, after you seeing this progress that is happening, the NDC is going to take the tractor that they have, and instead of they use it to help with the garbage collection, because they're collecting rates and taxes as well. They ain't gonna let you lapse on that. Instead they use that tractor with the trailer to help with garbage collection and probably weeding the parapets and moving away the grass or cleaning the drains or something. They put on a scrape on the back of the tractor and scraping the road or digging it tight. I don't know what to call it, but it's basically just creating or making the situation worse in Mocha. And persons have to drive their vehicles, ride the bicycle or the motorbikes through that on a daily basis, and they're frustrated. They are frustrated, you know. And then you have persons in the community who are on the NDC saying they don't want the government to come into the area to do anything. I don't understand the logic. Now look what they are doing. How is that benefiting the community? You're wasting petrol to run that tractor to do nonsense. That is not benefiting in any way, shape, or form. Right? Now, and I wanted to mention again, I think I mentioned this last week. So Burnham Boulevard in Mocha, the PPP did. And Burnham Drive in Linden as well. The PPP did that too. So I don't know if the PNC has an issue with maintaining things named after their leader, but they should they need to do a lot better. Coming back to the scholarships that are going to be made available, right? So scholarships are now available through the Ministry of Public Service for persons wanting to pursue a master's or a bachelor's degree at the University of Guyana. So I don't think this falls under goal. Sorry for misleading. For the 2023-2024 academic year, interested students can earn a master's degree in clinical psychology, procurement management, strategic development studies, and supply chain management through this mechanism. Prospective applicants must obtain admission to UG for the required program, and they must have obtained their bachelor's degree with a minimum grade point average of 2.8. They must be 35 years or under and be in good health to complete the program successfully. A valid Guyanese passport is also required to be considered for the scholarship. Additionally, spots are available to pursue a bachelor's degree in computer science, information technology, and economics. So just give me 1 second. I'm going to run this video for you guys one more time and then come back.
Because this is the state where the road is right now. Watch this. This is the state of the road right now, right? All right, you see enough potholes. You see enough potholes, right? All right.
Sorry about that. That's the kind of presenter struggles when you're here alone. So coming back to the gold program, once again, my apologies. Coming back to the gold program. So I was talking about the bachelor's degree in computer science, information technology, statistics, economics, public management, social work, nursing, engineering, architecture, medicine, and geology. Right? So interested persons can please, apply to the University of Guyana and benefit from these wonderful programs, right? The closing date for submissions is the 31st of July, 2023. And there's also a website, mps.gov.gy. You can go there and check out for more information on the programs that are available to you as Guyanese to upgrade yourself through the government of Guyana, more so the Ministry of Public Service, right? Moving back to City Hall there a little bit, I saw an article in the Chronicle. The outgoing deputy mayor, Mr. Mentor, says he's shaking off the defeat he suffered at the hands of Mr. Alfonso de Armas, who represented the People's Progressive Party Civic at the recently concluded local government elections. Now, Mr. de Armas, I must say, is new to the political scene. He's not been in politics before. He has not vied for any political post at the local government or at the national level. So he contested these recently concluded local government elections, and he was able to defeat the incumbent deputy mayor, Mr. Mentor, in his very own constituency, right? He, at the elections, he attained 937 votes, while Mr. de Armas attained 968 votes. In the 2028 elections, the Mr. Mentor's party would have won that seat by 107 votes. So the work by Mr. de Armas and his team would have definitely paid off in those areas. Persons were able to listen to the message of the People's Progressive Party Civic candidates and what they plan to do in these areas, and see if it made sense to them, and they bought into that message. Now it is time. These persons will be heading to council, and they'll have an opportunity to represent that message and deliver on those plans. And remember, they plan to live stream the council meetings, day and nightly care for infants and the elderly. They plan to increase the patrols of the city constabulary, install working fire hydrants. They plan to ensure accountability and credibility at the level of City Hall. As you know, there has been a lot of misappropriation of funds at City Hall. There we had a mayor there who I think he thought he was the president at one point with all the security he had. You understand? We had a mayor that didn't live in the city that he was the first citizen of. So, I mean, it's good that we would have seen the back of that mayor as he did nothing for the city. There's no legacy that he could say, this is what I would have done under my tenure as mayor, or this is how I would have transformed the city as mayor. All we remember him for is poor English and wild statements. You understand me? Poor English and wild statements. So good riddance. So long, bye-bye to Ubraj Narain, the outgoing mayor of Georgetown. I think they had a farewell get-together for him at Burnham Court or something. And again, Burnham Court is another place named after Burnham that the PPP had to refurbish, you know. So I don't know. I don't know if they have a thing with areas named Burnham that they don't want to look after them or something for some reason. But I think City Hall is in better hands now with the increased representation by these PPPC candidates. I want to wish Mr. Diarmas the best as he heads into the council there. I know he'll be facing a lot of opposition, but the young man has spoken to him on many occasions, and I don't think he will be fazed by whatever opposition he gets from these APNU, PNC, AFC councillors, whatever they want to call themselves at this juncture. Moving on to other things in the news, our Attorney General and Minister of Legal Affairs is $10 million. Well, it's going to be $10 million richer, as he would have won a liable case against the former Attorney General, Mr. Basil Williams. Now, this is in relation to the law books, this law books issue. The former AG, Mr. Williams, would have made some accusations against the current Attorney General, and without any proof or evidence, he gave his mouth some liberty. So High Court Judge Justice Priya Sinarain Bahari has ordered former Attorney General Basil Williams to pay the serving Attorney General Anil Nandalal the sum of $10 million for damages caused by the accusation that he, Nandalal, stole Commonwealth law reports. The judgment in this civil proceeding was handed down on Friday last. In her ruling, the judge stated that Williams intended to defame Nandalal by labeling him a thief, stating that he was unfit to be a part of the legal profession and a member of parliament, and accusing him of stealing state property. So congratulations to the Attorney General and to Mr. Williams. Please get your payments in order, my brother. You need to stop making wild statements. And this is why sometimes Kevon and even Kosi, when he was on the program, would warn persons of making statements without having the required evidence to back it up. The coalition government put this cyber crimes thing into place. You understand? So you got to be careful what you're saying online. You got to be careful, people. You got to be careful. Libel is a serious thing. And you don't want to have to find $10 million to give anybody. I'm sure people could find uses for the 10 million. So please, persons, don't involve yourself in these sorts of making accusations and these things against people, right? But as I said, $10 million, Mr. Williams will have to find to pay to Attorney General Nandalal for his accusations of him stealing these Commonwealth law reports, which was very far from the truth. And that was established in a court of law. And, we're moving forward from that matter. Hopefully, persons will let this law books issue lie now, since it has been properly adjudicated. I see Minister Rodriguez, I think still is in Region 9, checking on projects in that area. There's supposed to be 20 homes for the elderly to be constructed in Sand Creek. The government is set to commence the construction of the first 20 or 50 homes in Sand Creek, South Rupununi Region 9 as a part of the Hinterland Housing Program. The initiative forms part of a commitment made by President Dr. Mohamed Irfan Ali when he visited the area last year. Minister within the Ministry of Housing and Water, Susan Rodriguez, during an engagement with residents of the village on Saturday last, stated that the homes will primarily cater for vulnerable groups with a particular focus on the elderly. The selection of beneficiaries will be conducted by the village council, ensuring a fair and transparent process. So, hats off to the government for pushing this initiative all the way in Sand Creek there in Region 9. And again, we see that development is not just about the coast. It's about having it broad-based across the country where a lot of people can benefit from all these initiatives coming out of the government. The construction of each house requires a team of 5 workers. The program covers the cost of 2 skilled persons, while the beneficiaries are responsible for providing 3 laborers. So you see the integration there. Meanwhile, in the community, the community is now benefiting from a $50 million water supply system, a collaboration of the Guyana Water Incorporated and the Village Council. The water system comprises of solar panels and a new pump system providing 95% of the village's potable water. You've heard the ministers, both Crowell and Rodriguez, and His Excellency talking about increasing the supply of potable water to these communities and around the country as a whole. So hats off to the minister and the ministry for being able to increase the amount of potable water that is being distributed. Another $35 million water system was commissioned again in another village in South Rupununi. I'm not even going to try to call the name of this one, but it only augurs well for these communities. And this will see over 600 residents in the community, in the Region 9 area, benefiting from potable water. The ministry, through GWI, has been working assiduously to bring clean, filtered water to these communities. And before this, these persons would have access to water from hand-dug wells. So this process, or the system, I should say, that was set up by GWI, filters the water so that it is not, there's less chance of contaminants and these kind of things getting into the system and affecting the community and the health of that community at large. The minister reiterated the government's commitment to the development of 230 Amerindian communities across the 10 administrative regions. She also noted its commitment that the commitment is evident when you look at the substantial annual budgetary allocations that are allocated towards the ministry and projects aimed at developing these indigenous communities and indigenous areas of Guyana. So hats off to the ministry and their technical teams. The guy in charge of the Hinterland Water Program, I can't remember his name. I see the PS there, Mr. Andre Ali took the trip in there for the launching of these wells in the communities there. Also, we're supposed to be expecting the Secretary of State, Mr. Blinken, in Guyana. And I mean, what more can I say about that? Guyana is on track for great things, progress. It could only all go well. The Secretary of State is visiting. So that means big things on the card for Guyana and Guyanese. And we can only expect greater things with the leadership that we're seeing with the People's Progressive Party civic government in power. More black belly sheeps on the cards for Guyana from Barbados. 300 are supposed to be arriving shortly in the country. As you know, Guyana and Barbados through CARICOM have been collaborating on various programs to increase or ensure food security in the Caribbean. So there's the Black Belly Sheep program. There's also a program where the president has been pushing to lower the import food bill of Guyana and CARICOM as a whole. So there has been the Shade House initiative where persons are growing broccoli and cauliflower and carrots, these high value crops that are often, they have to be imported into Guyana for use. So His Excellency is wants Guyanese to start producing these things right here so that the import bill is lowered. We also see the government making a major investment with the private sector with the soya and the corn project. Now that will allow Guyana to supply its chicken feed to the poultry industry here. That will bring down the cost of poultry production significantly. And you and me as citizens will see that on the back end at the retail end when the price of chicken comes down. So we see government putting systems in place to ensure that persons have, or there is systems in place to lower the cost of living, to make life better for Guyanese on a whole. Adding to that, the Gas to Shore project, which the Vice President spoke of recently or updated on recently, also is a project that augurs well for Guyanese. Lower cooking gas for Guyanese, lower electricity bill or electricity cost cut by half. I think these are programs that persons need to understand that the government didn't do this for themselves. They did this for the people of Guyana, so the people of Guyana can benefit. A lot of persons talk about the oil money and the oil money, and we should be receiving more. But we receive daily, we receive monthly, we're receiving roads, we're receiving grants, we're receiving assistance with business, we're receiving scholarships. All these things at the expense of the government of Guyana. So when you sign up for a gold scholarship that you don't have to pay for, that will give you a degree or a master's or a diploma, you're benefiting. When you drive on that 4-lane from the East Coast all the way to the East Bank, you're benefiting. When these concrete roads come into your communities, you're benefiting. The boulevard that is in Albice down there, that is for the community to benefit. The persons in that community will now see the rise in their property value. So they are now empowered to either break down and reconstruct, sell, not sell, do whatever they want. You understand? And the government is empowering people by ensuring these projects come off the ground and they are successful. Do we remember when the National Stadium was being constructed? What the opposition said, it would have been a white elephant, they're not going to have nothing there, it's a waste of money. Do you remember what they said about the Marriott? Now, President Irfan Ali would have secured 3 consecutive years of CPL finals. Let's say that stadium was not built. Where were we going to hold these CPL finals? At Border Cricket Ground or the tarmac at the National Park? That's where we're going to do it. Or we were going to go by the ground, the field outside by Congress Place and keep the cricket there. So persons need to remember these things. Remember these things. So the vision for Guyana was there since under the vice president, when he was president, by Jagdew, to to construct that stadium. There's a new stadium being constructed at Palmyra, along with a hotel and a hospital there as well. You understand me? And thank you, Diane, for raising this. Now compared, this is an option as well. Where were we going to keep it at Durban Park? We would have keep the CPL at Durban Park. The people would have fall through the woodlands benches there, the pavilion. So we see vision. We see vision with the PVPC government. We see vision. I was at the boulevard there the other day, and I spoke to several persons out there, and you wouldn't believe how Guyanese from all Boys Town and Wesley Penitence are feeling about the transformation in that area. You understand? Persons feel safer. They feel like the area will generate money now. They feel like they're in Brooklyn, New York, according to some of the persons I spoke to. You understand? And that's the kind of development that you get with the PPPC government. Now, I challenge anybody on this live. The number is there. At least my number is there, 671-6228. You can call in right now and tell me one project that could mirror All Boys Town Boulevard done in the 2015 to the 2020 period by the coalition. One project. Please, I am begging anybody. One project. Now, I'm going to wait. You can't think of any. You can't think of any. I don't even want to mention Durban Park because that, oh my goodness, contributing to the woodlands issues in the city. The persons who live on Hartfield Street should, the persons who live on Hartfield Street should sue the former government for them building that facility and having woodlands overrun the place. You understand me? Well, the Madia Monument, I can't even call you. I say a project that you could compare to the All Boys Town Boulevard. The Madia Monument is nothing but a giant shaft to the people of Madia. You understand? Because even in Madia, other than that monument, can anybody in Madia point to one thing, one significant thing that they could talk about in relation to development in Madia? Nothing. You understand? Nothing at all. So I see I got a call coming in. Let me see if it's someone in relation to the program.
And go in, whatever the previous government did, whatever contract they're supposed to stop doing, don't look at it. That's what it's supposed to do.
No.
That's what I'm asking. The VT is supposed to keep Durban Park. This government's supposed to upkeep it. Every government, this is the problem with Guyana. They always try to every government is trying to make the other government look bad. I don't understand why they do it. PNC, PPP, anybody, they do the same kind of thing.
Okay, so let me ask you a question. I see your number is an overseas number. So you're telling me in this day and age, it made sense for the government of Guyana to invest in a park constructed primarily out of wood for longevity?
Doesn't matter. You got to figure out. Listen, if you think it done wrong, correct it. That's what I'm saying. Correct it. If you know it better, you correct it. It's like you do a road, you guys do a road, if PPP do a road, and the government and the new government come in, which is PNC, come in, and they look at the road and say, oh, they didn't do it right. They built it out to crap over the bill. We didn't do it. That don't make sense. Make it make sense in Guyana. Y'all need to stop this stupid petty politics. Y'all gotta stop it, bro. Gotta stop it. You imagine the Democrat come in power and whoever Republican do, because they do it right, they can do it.
No, but what I'm asking you, sir, why would you maintain something that you are not in agreement with? If you're not in agreement that it was built properly, you're probably not in agreement with the location. You understand? Why are you pumping money into a project that is not feasible?
Man, hey, listen to me. Park could turn into a lot of stuff, my brother. If y'all listen to me, y'all could have fixed the place better. It could be done. It serves a purpose when it with you because it's rotten. It doesn't mean that it doesn't make sense. I don't get you guys, man. Y'all gotta stop this crap.
Well, probably if it was done better, it would have been able to be maintained. And I would put this to you, sir. I put this to you that Durban Park fell into disrepair before the government actually got into office. So it was rotting away way before.
Yeah, but do something to correct it and to make the other government keep talking about it all the time. Skeldon is there sitting all the time. Nobody talks about Skeldon. Nobody talks about that place.
Yeah, but
$200 million.
Hold. 1 second. Go ahead.
$200 million compared to $2 billion.
600 million missing from Durban Park, sir. 600 million missing from Durban Park. 600 million missing from Durban Park, sir. But so 600 million, because it's not US, it's not relevant.
600 million is 3 million US dollars.
And mind you, Skeldon is a power generating plant, also a sugar producing plant. You understand? Are you saying, sir? You brought up Skeldon, right? You brought up Skeldon. Who closed down the sugar industry?
I see the position of Skeldon.
When last were you in Skeldon, sir?
Skeldon ain't doing nothing, brother.
When last were you in Skeldon?
Listen to me. I never went to Burbies, but
you never went to Burbies. Okay. All right. Thank you for calling. All right. Thank you for calling, sir. So you see, here we have it. A caller from the diaspora talking about Skeldon. Never went to Burbies. Never went to Skeldon. And that's sometimes what we have to deal with. And that is why this program is here. Because you got Kadaki Amsterdam, you got Sherrod Duncan, you got Christopher Jones, you got a bunch of them misleading these people overseas. You understand? You were complaining about Skeldon. Even if you're saying Skeldon ain't working right now, it's a factory that could be rehabilitated and up and running at any point in time. You understand? Durban Park was a literal waste of money. The power generation plant could still use. The sugar factory at Skeldon could still use. Right? If you want to do anything at Durban Park, you got to break down all them things and start over. You understand me? Everything you got to break down and start over. So I do the comparison between Skeldon and Durban Park. No, brother. How much persons did Durban Park employ? How much persons did Skeldon employ? You understand? So please, if y'all want to call please 671-6228. Hit me up on WhatsApp or a direct call. Good morning to Mr. Edwin Ashby tuning into the program. He's another one of those persons who will be heading to the city council, to make sure that these people at City Hall do what they're supposed to do. But 600 million, my brother, 600 million, and that's just at Skeldon, right? That's just at Skeldon. So we're moving on. So I see the third batch of young influencers ready to create change among youths, and hats off to Minister Vindia Prasad and her ministry for pushing that initiative, getting young people involved in, impacting the lives of others. And I think that's very important, very, very important. Also happening, I see there's the selection of the Guyana Amazon Warriors team. I see some persons had a lot to say about that. So let me just put up the list for persons who might not know. So this is the squad for the 2023 Guyana Amazon Warriors. And persons are saying this year is our year. We're taking it home this year. So guys, get on board, support the team, get your tickets. It's the Guyana Amazon Warriors for the CPL 2023. As you know, the finals will be held right here in Guyana. And hats off to our president, Dr. Mohamed Irfan Ali, for securing the hosting of those finals here in Guyana. He continues to put Guyana on the map in all sectors and all aspects, and represents Guyana well. So thank you, Mr. President, and we welcome all those who will be coming to Guyana for the CPL, and I hope you guys have a lot of fun. We got a bunch of new hotels going up around the place, a bunch of places to eat. I think Guyana Restaurant Week would have recently concluded. So a special shout out to all those restaurants who took part. I think the Savannah Drive, that is wrapping up today as well. So a lot of things happening around the country. Tourism is growing, the oil industry, the oil and gas industry, it is in good hands. We see infrastructure development happening all across the country. Roads, bridges, culverts, highways, all sorts of things. It's just about this government moving the country forward, encouraging persons to be their best, increase their knowledge, get involved. You understand? So hats off to the government. Continue to do the good job that you guys are doing, and continue to make the impact that you guys are making. For the persons in Linden, Georgetown, and New Amsterdam, you guys will be getting your council soon. So we'll be knowing who the mayors are for these areas. The infighting continues at the PNC, as we have been reliably informed. The not so honorable opposition leader, he's trying to unilaterally appoint persons to these posts of mayor and deputy mayor in these areas, and it's causing a lot of infighting in that party. But at the end of the day, you can be reassured that the People's Progressive Party Civic, its candidates and its councillors, its supporters, its activists will be on the ground in these cities, in these NDC areas, to ensure that these persons who are charged with the responsibility of these areas deliver. So just like in Mocha, where they're trying to do a Jim Cock bring Ram Goat or a 6 for a 9 for road works, persons, you guys be vigilant. Send us the videos here. Wherever you are out there and you see nonsense happening in terms of construction of roads, bridges, culverts, you feel the contractor's not doing their job, you send us a video and we'll send it to the relevant authorities. What some persons need to remember, that whilst we have a Minister of Public Works and a minister within the Ministry of Public Works, these two gentlemen do not go out physically and execute contracts, right? So if a road getting done in Bartica, the minister is not there doing the road. The minister facilitated the process, and there are persons to facilitate the checks and balances to ensure that that process is followed and in the correct manner. Now, if that is not done, you as citizens, you as constituents, have a responsibility as well to highlight it to the powers that be. Okay? So ensure that you take video footage. You can send it to me, send it to Kevon, and we'll highlight it and make sure that these contractors give what is required in relation to the contract and fulfilling their obligation to these communities that they are working in. It's Monday, and it's time to say goodbye to y'all. Please go out there and be productive. I see it's a little overcast, so if it's raining where you are, please take your time on the road. If you are heading to work, please be safe. And that's all for me this morning. See you guys tomorrow. Hopefully Kevon joins us. I don't know why Miss Luther didn't tune in this morning. We were expecting to have her from New Amsterdam. I guess something is wrong with her internet connection. But until next time, I'm Courdel Jones saying bye for now.
This is Quincy Anderson. You know I love my country. There's no other country better than mine. Welcome to Guyana, land of 6 races, 6 different faces, and we all live in love. Guyana is a beautiful country, no other can compare. Got everything right here, so